Hello guys, it's Marco. I was on a work trip for a bit, so I didn't have time to record, but I have been doing the questions. Let's get started. Day 7. This question, there's not really much to it. It's pretty much it tells you a bunch of rules. You get given a bunch of hands of cards, and then essentially each, like you just follow these rules. So the most powerful kind of hand is if they're all the same. Then if you have 4 of the same, 3 of the same, plus 2 of the same, 3 of the same, plus 1 of the same. 2 of the same plus 2 of the same, blah blah blah. It's pretty self-explanatory. And then otherwise you just compare them in order, the cards in order. If they're even in terms of these strengths, you just compare the cards in order until you break the tie. And then pretty much each hand will have a multiplier, and then the multiplier, whichever hand is strongest, gets the biggest multiplier. And then pretty much the score is the multiplier plus the score value. It's probably a bad explanation, but who cares? Here we go. So the first thing I did was I got all the cards. Yeah, this is just some string passing, and I stored it in this card score. Oh, sorry, what's that? This card score object here. So we have the string, which is the hand of cards, which represents which cards they are, so, which will be of length 5. And we have the score, which is this score here. And then we also have the value, and the value is if it's 5 of a kind, it'll be 5. If it's 4 of a kind, it'll be 4. If it's 3 of a kind, it'll be 3, and so on. And then what we do is, pretty much I made this custom comparator, and we just go through each of the cards, and we sort them based on this comparator, and we multiply the multiplier by the card score. So if you look in the card comparator, the first thing we do is we compare the value, and the value we get pretty much for each of the hands, so that we can tell the most powerful is 5 of a kind. So in a 5 of a kind hand, that is where the size of the set is 1, or like the highest occurring value occurs 5 times. When the highest occurring value occurs 4 times, you're 4 in the same. When the highest occurs 3, it's 3. Yeah, and pretty much I just had 2 packs of knowledge: which card occurs the most and what's the size of the set. And with these 2, we can determine the rankings of each of the cards. So yeah, in the comparator, we just firstly compare the value, and we say, is it 5 of a kind versus 4 of a kind? If so, you return the left one, otherwise you return the right one. And if they're even, so if they're both the same type, say they're both like a score of 5, a value of 5, sorry, we just go through each card, and I have this string here, strengths, and we just compare the indexes of each individual thing. Yeah, gets us the answer when we sum it up. Part 2. Part 2, this is the same, except now there's a joker card, and the joker, when it comes to 5 of a kind and 4 of a kind, blah blah blah, it can be anything that will give you the highest score. But when you're comparing the cards for a tiebreaker, it just stays as the joker. So what I did is I updated the strengths thing, and I put jokers at the very bottom to show that when we're comparing, the joker comes last. But otherwise, what I do is pretty much I update the cards, and what happens in this update cards function is that we pretty much just replace each of the jokers with each of the other card values. And then pretty much we see by doing so which of those gets the highest score. So then we'll end up with each hand of cards being the highest possible score after substituting out the jack, and then we just compare them. And yeah, since we never actually we got the score, we got the value of the highest value possible hand, but we never actually changed the original hand. We can just use the same strength comparator with now the jack on the bottom. That's all. Thanks for watching.